This trunk switch performs a lot of functions for the car. On a lot of cars, all this does is serve the function of turning the interior light on and off when you open the trunk, but it can also be used in a security system. If the trunk gets open but the security system is armed, it'll know to set off the alarm. Because this switch has been acting up, I'm going to take this whole assembly apart and I'm going to see if there's a loose contact in here or if the switch itself needs to be replaced. We'll start by removing these trim pieces. What we're working on here is fabric and metal. Metal will hold up to this metal tool and the fabric will just bend out of the way. If you're working on plastic though, make sure your tool is made out of plastic. Alright, also because this car is using fabric here, I can just take out a few of these rivets and move it out of the way. So now you can see it and we didn't remove the whole thing. If your panel's made out of plastic though, it's better to just take the whole thing off. It's always a good idea to disconnect the battery if you're doing any work on the electrical system, but especially so on a car that has an alarm because you're going to save yourself some headaches with the alarm going off when you don't want it to. In this example, if you have disconnected the switch and the car thinks that the trunk is closed because of that, as soon as you reconnect the switch, when you put in the new one, it's going to think the trunk is suddenly open and someone's breaking into the car and the alarm's going to go off. On this vehicle, I had to pop out a wire retainer to get some extra slack on these wires. Now that we have the wires out, we can reconnect them to the switch. Since both of these connectors work the same way, they're just connected to this ground when the button is let go. You can connect either one of these to either one of these. On a lot of trunk switches, it'll just be a plug and you can just plug that in and it's all ready to go for you. On all the way. Line up the hole. Looks good, and there's definitely a little more spring to this one. If you're confident that you put that switch back in correctly, you can go ahead and reassemble and reconnect the battery. It looks good and there's no light flickering when I wiggle this around anymore. That's what we're looking for.